Oh, hey, this thing says 0.
Yeah, we're probably live. It says we're live. Sorry, I'm just opening all of my tabs so I know
Opening all
what
the tabs.
we're talking about at some point. So I assume you have the stuff up, the commenty stuff, if people want to comment.
No, I'm trying to get that up.
Okay. So, hello, Internet. Welcome to episode number 8 of Bourbon and Zeppelins. Jeremy is busy trying to get the comments up, so if you have something important to say, now's probably the best time to do it, because we won't see it. I'm one of your hosts, David Hughes. That's Jeremy over there on the other computer, looking at comments.
Trying to find the comments.
I feel like I've already said that. Yeah, so we have. I think this is good. This might be a quick show. I mean,
We are going to do a quick show, damn it.
well, I'm not planning on doing a quick show. Like, that wasn't my intent. But
Because when we plan on doing a quick show, it never works.
yeah, it takes 2.5 hours. So this week, because we talk about politics and because we talk about technology, we really only have one story this week, and that is the attack on net neutrality. And if you don't know what that is, you'll find out once we get there. Because we talk about.
Whoa.
Oh, there's my voice again.
Sorry. My bad. My bad.
You got it? Okay. So I guess to start with, anything you want to talk about since last week? You doing okay? Did you do anything interesting this weekend?
I went snowboarding for the first time in my life on Saturday.
Oh, cool. Like at
Rabbit Hill.
Oh, Rabbit Hill.
No, a mountain.
Just,
I wouldn't be here if it were a mountain, let me tell you.
Did you?
No, just like
were you successful?
I was successful in many things. Many things happened.
Was snowboarding one of them?
Snowboarding was a small part of the things of the many other things that you hurt in a totally different way when you snowboard.
Do you ski a lot?
I grew up skiing. I can ski no problem. I got that down. But ever since I broke my leg a couple of years ago, the idea of skiing, because like if you catch a ski and it twists your leg, just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yes.
So we decided, okay, snowboard feet are like bound in. You can't twist your leg off. No problem. Okay.
Very true.
And the kids are taking snowboarding lessons. So the whole family's going to snowboard now. So I'll learn the same time. My kids will learn. My wife's going to learn. We'll all learn together. We'll all suck until we slowly all get good together is the idea. You hurt in a totally different way than when you fall when you ski. When you skiing and you fall, you like you hit a hip or, sort of an angle or a fraction of your butt. When you snowboard, it's like square on your butt.
Right.
It's like someone grabs your ankles and smacks you down on the snow, and it hurts because the snow's not fluffy.
Right.
So
you should go find some fluffy snow to snowboard on.
Oh man. Like, I couldn't sit all day Sunday. It was painful. Anyway,
Sunday's not a day for sitting anyway.
That was my adventure. Eventually, I was snowboarding. Eventually, it looked not too bad, but I'm hoping next weekend will be easier yet.
That's cool. Yeah, we didn't do anything. We didn't leave the house because The Punisher was released on Netflix this weekend. So I spent Friday, Saturday. And
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the main guy's name?
The Punisher?
Yeah.
The Punisher.
I mean the actor.
Oh, John Bernthal.
I don't like him as a good guy.
Well, I mean, the Punisher's kind of not really a good guy. Like, he is a good guy, but he's not a good guy.
No, but I don't like him as a protagonist, maybe we'll say.
Okay. I think he's really good as Punisher.
I'll probably reluctantly watch it.
You should. Did you see the season of Daredevil with the Punisher?
No.
So there's a scene. So the first half of, I think, the second season of Daredevil is a Punisher story arc. It's like your introduction to the Punisher in this world.
Yeah.
And there is a scene near the end of his arc where Frank Castle, the Punisher, is sort of leaning. He's in a cemetery and he's leaning against a tombstone, and he's sort of explaining his, not really his motive. It's not an origin story, but it's like, he's explaining his morality and why he does what he does the way he does, right? As opposed to like doing what other superheroes do. Why does he go around with guns and shoot people? And it is a monologue. I don't even know how long it is. Maybe 3-4 minutes, something like that. And it is some of the best pure acting I've seen in a very long time. Like, he's excellent in this role. Like, he is a very, very good Punisher. And the writing was solid. There's like if you're not if you're familiar with the Punisher, there's like a lot of ambiguity about him, right?
Yeah.
Like, everything's shades of gray.
Right,
really.
right.
And the story sort of unfolds that way in this season, where it's hard to tell who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Right, you're like, oh, is this guy going to be a bad guy? Is this guy going to be a bad guy? Like,
okay.
There's a couple that are obvious, right? But then there's like a couple where it's just like, oh, maybe he's a good guy, maybe he's a bad guy. I can't tell if he's a friend or not. And it is excellent, excellent, excellent. However, I will put a caveat on there: if you don't like gore, you will not like it. It is very bloody and very gory.
Okay. I'm okay with gore.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll.
I'd give it.
I don't know.
Have you watched obviously you haven't watched the second season of Daredevil. Have you watched any of the Marvel Netflix stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's on my back catalog to get to, when I have time.
yeah, for sure. All the Marvel stuff is at least good. A lot of it's great.
Okay.
But there's some that's like I wasn't a big fan of Iron Fist, but Jessica Jones was a big surprise because I didn't actually know anything about that character going into it.
Right.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist, I've heard of, and I could have told you what their powers were, but beyond that, I couldn't have told you anything about them before the series.
Right. Yeah.
And they were both the Luke Cage series is really good also. Iron Fist, not much. I just don't like the character.
Okay, yeah.
And then the Defenders was good. Only an Iron Fist was in that, and I think he's tolerable when he's surrounded by 3 other people calling him an idiot, basically saying the things I'm thinking, but out loud.
Someone's there saying it.
Yeah. So that
okay.
so I really enjoyed that. Anyway, so watch The Punisher.
So
I also watched. Sorry, I realized that we're going to have a short show. I also watched. It's called Blazing Transfer Students Reborn on Netflix, and it's 8 episodes, and it's based on a manga or an anime. I think it's a manga called Blazing Transfer Students. Okay. And this is a sort of a reboot of it, is my understanding. I don't really know the history of this series, but the idea is there's these 7 students that get transferred to like this one school from their other schools, and they all have like special powers, and they get transferred there, and then they get sent from that school to other schools that are having problems, and they go there to like solve their problems. So like one school has like a zombie problem, so they have to go there and like solve the zombie problem.
Yeah.
There's a great episode that's super meta where the creator of Blazing Transfer Students regrets having sold his rights to the characters, so he gathers a different set of actors to be the Blazing Transfer Students, and then they have a competition against each other to see who are going to remain as the Blazing Transfer Students.
This sounds very Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Kind of, but very Japanese, right? And so there's if you're into, and I'm not really into anime or manga, but I'm into it enough where I could recognize the tropes of all these characters.
Okay.
So they have like the gangster character and the boxer guy. I don't know why there's always like a boxer guy. I don't know why these characters exist.
Okay.
But the super nerdy smart guy with the big glasses. But they have like all of these different tropes sort of having to work together, and it's really, I don't know, they really make fun of themselves a lot. But it's Scott Scott Pilgrim's a really good sort of comparison, I think,
Okay,
now
yeah.
that you say it. But it was super weird. But I would have I'd probably watch it again if I was so inclined. It was really engaging and really good for a show that I didn't really know what the hell was going on for most of it.
I have no idea what's going on, and I can't stop watching.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what I did on Sunday. It was Blazing Transvestutes. That's what I did. Because it was
and
really
that's
short. It's only like
Sunday.
8 episodes, and they're 20 minutes each or something like that. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it was
Yeah.
like real quick.
All right. Well, that brings us to today.
All right, so let's start with last week we were talking about the Keurig story and Sean Hannity, where Sean Hannity basically said Roy Moore was having consensual sex with a 14-year-old girl, so who cares, right? I'm paraphrasing a little, but just a little.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
like
Yeah.
not a lot. And so, as a response to this and Hannity's stance on Roy Moore, Keurig had pulled their ad buy from the Sean Hannity show. And there was a bunch of people who had decided that, well, screw Keurig then, we're going to go smash a bunch of Keurigs and film it, because that'll show them.
We're going to smash some of our own property.
Yeah! I spent, $120 on this coffee maker like 6 months
Why?
ago, and I'm going to smash it with a golf club because, I don't know. Because that's how revenge
I'm
works,
angry.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, fair
I don't
enough.
know.
Okay, anyway.
Anyway, so Jeremy and I were trying to figure out if Keurig had sort of backed down from their position, and turns out that they didn't. So I am no longer disappointed in Keurig for backing down because they never back down. So I have no reason to be disappointed in them anymore. So good for them, I say, for maintaining their stance on this.
Agreed.
All right.
All right.
Geez, you know what? I am not very good at this. I had the wrong graphic. You weren't watching the video, and you didn't tell me I had the wrong graphic up at the bottom.
We're not doing Kickstarter Crystal Ball yet.
Yes, I'm aware of that now.
That escaped me.
That's okay. I'm also watching the video, so I can't just blame you.
All right.
All right. So we'll move on to our weekly feature. Let me just update that. This week in gun violence, which kind of good news this week. No mass shootings, really, to report. Like not in the
Nothing that came
traditional
through
sense.
Nothing that came through our feed.
No, there was one thing that I did post on the page, and I can't find the link to it anymore because I don't know how Facebook works, I don't think. I think I'm just turning into an old guy, and I can't figure out technology. There was another shooting in a church that was accidental.
Yeah.
It was some people,
So-
the guys were having a conversation about having guns in church. One of the guys was like, I always have my gun in church. So he pulls his gun out, unloads it, clears it, hands it to somebody else, gets it back from that guy, still nothing's gone wrong yet. Reloads it, sticks it back in his holster. Second later, another guy walks through the door and he's like, hey, check out my gun, don't worry, it's unloaded. And then
Totally forgot that
he
had
literally just loaded
it.
And then 2 people got shot accidentally. One bullet, one shot.
Yeah, it was one bullet, and the story is actually pretty sad because the guy's wife died.
Oh, geez, I didn't know that. I would have told that story a little less happily.
His wife was one that got hit in the abdomen, went out and hit someone else.
Right.
So like through and through on his wife, but an elderly couple.
Right. Pretend I told that same story, but a little more somber.
But yeah, I mean, it's anytime people are dying, even if it's self-inflicted accident because of their own ineptitude. It's But
that being said, I mean,
nobody
for the
went on
States,
rampages that we saw this week.
Yeah, this is the first time this week where we didn't have like just a straight up mass shooting or a terrorist attack, which we thought might have been a shooting, but it was airsoft guns, but a real car. I'm like an awful person today. Not like, just am. All right, so that brings us to the story. Politics and technology have finally intersected.
Yeah, and nothing good can come of that.
No, it's never good when politicians start talking about technology.
Politicians don't know what to.
Yeah. It is the attack on net neutrality. Jeremy, you want to explain net neutrality to people?
I'd love to if I could. Okay, so I'm going to start
I can give you
with the parts that the parts that I know.
Okay, tell me everything you know about net neutrality.
Here's net neutrality has to, and this is how we don't prepare for this show.
Sorry, before you go into this, I was talking to a friend of mine on the weekend. He's like, "Hey, that show you do."
Yeah.
It's like, do you guys prepare for that? And I was like, I'll tell you how we do this. Like every week, I go through and I create a document with links to articles.
Yeah.
And Jeremy knows it exists, and I know it exists.
It's there.
And then neither of us read the articles that I've linked to, and then we do
Till
the show.
maybe about 10 to 8.
Yeah.
We open up the document and open up the links to the articles in the tabs there. And these are what we're going to discover with you all together.
Yeah.
We're going to learn about what's going on, who's happening where on the world today.
Yeah, this doesn't need preparation.
You can't prep this stuff.
This is like a natural conversation.
This is how people react in real time.
Yeah, that's been the feedback that we get is that people love it when we're really stupid. So
we got more where that came from.
I see no reason to educate ourselves about anything.
Something like that, yeah. So, okay, net neutrality is talking about what the general public are afraid of is if the internet providers are going to start shaping the traffic. So, for example, if your internet provider is Shaw, for example, then what's Shaw's streaming service again? Shaw On Demand would stream real fast.
Yes.
But if you were trying to stream like Rogers
Crave?
Sports,
okay, sure,
for example, maybe, they would throttle that and they wouldn't give you as much bandwidth.
Right.
So
unless you paid more
for it.
Right.
It's almost to the extremes of the idea. The danger is you can get the same thing we had with cable TV, where you would pay for the channels you want. You would pay for the web pages you want to have access to, or you'd pay for groups of web pages that you would have access to, and how fast those would go. So if you wanted Netflix, but now Shaw wants to really put a strong showing forward for its Shaw On Demand, and we're going to compete with Netflix, and Shaw's going to say, okay, so we're not going to let Netflix stream through our internet service very quickly, and so you're going to see lots of buffering on Netflix. But hey, our Shaw On Demand service, that goes real fast because they don't throttle it at all.
Right. Absolutely.
How in all of that throwing words against the wall, how much of the net neutrality Venn diagram did I fill in?
I feel like you hit everything that was important, right? So basically, it comes down to different vendors charging more for different services. So now instead of just having like a flat internet fee, and if you want, you got that Slack, right?
Yeah. Let me put that up on the.
In Portugal, they don't have net neutrality, and this is what it looks like when you're buying internet services in Portugal. We're going to put a little. I guess I could put it up on the stream. Maybe I'll do that real quick.
Yeah, you get it so that people don't have to click on stuff.
See. So the way that it works there is they have their regular. You have your internet, and then you pay extra for messaging apps, extra for social media, extra for video, extra for music, extra for email and cloud. Like this is awful. Like, this is not how the internet should work. Like, this is straight up. Like, this isn't even just like we're going to throttle the bandwidth. It's just like
this is you don't get access to Facebook.
You need to buy the video package.
Yeah. Okay. So, whoa, that's cool. I actually hit. It's cool that I actually hit pretty close on to the worst case scenarios here.
Yeah.
That's pretty horrible.
So, actually, Canada was actually really good about this, and I forgot to link this article.
So here I'll tag in.
Do you have it?
Well, I'm tagging in the original that was on our document that we should have but did not review. The Ars Technica.
Oh, the Ars Technica one, yeah.
Talking about net neutrality and it being under attack, and we are going to have a vote on this, or we're going to do something about it.
Yeah, the Americans are having a vote December 14th. So if you're on, if you ever go on Reddit, if you go and look at the first page, it's all red.
There it is,
basically right now. Oh, maybe was that in the Ars article? Oh, it's a different Ars article. Which one did you link?
The one that was in our document.
Oh, the one, okay, so this is a different one that I have.
Oh.
Sorry. I'll send this one to you also, and then you can pop that one in the old thing. So Canada, thankfully, we actually strengthened our net neutrality rules, which is surprising, I have to say, because I don't really trust the government in Canada to have consumers' best interests at heart when it comes to dealing with telecom.
No.
Ever. So I am shocked
we
that
pay
this happened.
so bloody much for our telecom.
Yeah, we get shafted. So I was stunned to see that they weren't just like, oh yeah, Bell just wants to be able to throttle stuff, and the government was like, sure, whatever, who cares?
Yeah,
That's pretty standard, right?
what could be bad about that?
Yeah. So zero rating is, so this is kind of the thing. So I don't know if you're familiar with the term zero rating. It's in this article that I just linked you. But
Hang on, I got to pull that
so
up.
basically the way zero rating works is, and maybe I should double check this because I might be confusing this with something else. Okay, yeah, I got this right. So it's basically what you were talking about, where you don't so on mobile, you wouldn't have to pay for video you're streaming. Like if you're on Bell and you were streaming something from like Bell TV or whatever,
Right.
it would cost you. It wouldn't count against your data if you have a data cap.
Right.
So that's a zero rating. So that's basically like you're getting it for free versus having to pay for a streaming service from a competitor, right?
Yeah.
So like Netflix would count against your data cap, but Bell TV would not. So that's zero rating, and that's what Canadian telecom companies sort of always try to slip through, because you say that to a consumer, right?
And you're I want that.
Yeah, I go, hey, you're on Bell, right? Well, guess what? I'm going to give you unlimited Bell TV. Not going to touch your data cap, and the consumers are going to go, yeah, that's awesome. That's saving me money. I want that. Give me that. But
But consumers, they think too small is the problem because they only see the small picture there.
Yeah.
The big picture is, wait a minute. No, give me all the streaming with no data cap.
Yeah. That's what you should want.
People are thinking too small.
Yeah. But I mean, realistically, that is what they should want. You should not want anything to count against your data cap. You should just have unlimited data. Because
like they do in Mexico. I don't know.
But like, I don't know. It drives me crazy because like data kind of doesn't cost these guys money.
No, well, it
doesn't, right? But not.
So we're arguing about like they're recouping for their infrastructure.
Yeah.
Right? They laid out all the infrastructure to get it. Now they're trying to recoup it. I feel like, you know what? You got it.
Sunk cost, guys.
Yeah.
Sunk cost.
Let's just run with it. Although, what's data usage these days going to? Like as it becomes, if it became free, and I feel like this is the actual danger, is that if data were just free, the usage would explode. Like you can intuitively figure that, yeah, usage would go up. But I don't think the infrastructure could handle how much it would go up if data were free.
I think it can. So
yeah?
Australia, I gotta find this. They actually had a free data day. So there was a carrier there, Telstra, in Australia. Sydney, man. So this was back in 2016, and there was a guy, like April or early 2016. I don't actually know what day it was. But there was a guy who downloaded a terabyte that day, where he downloaded the entirety of The Simpsons just 'cause.
Well, you don't need a reason to download The Simpsons.
Yeah, but he was just like, he wasn't, yeah, like, but I'm just trying to see. I'm sure that they have an actual breakdown of what it looked like. But basically, yeah, stuff went up, and there was like a guy who was a big outlier here, but their system didn't go down. Their infrastructure handled it. Right? So, yeah, you're going to have guys.
All right.
You're going to have outliers for sure. You're going to have people who are just going to download 24/7. You're going to have people who don't change their.
Yeah.
And I think most people, like I don't not download something just because I'm reaching a data cap. You know, like I don't think in terms of that.
Yeah, I'll say I don't either. But I wonder if
I sort of do, but I don't stream a ton of stuff on my phone either, right? Like
I stream Spotify like all day long.
yeah.
But I wonder if like you'd have like an initial like little bump, and then people would like mostly like not care or whatever. But then there would be other services, other apps, other things that come along that just all start piling onto that, right?
Well, everything's a streaming service nowadays. Everything is
Yeah.
like Adobe Cloud, right? Like everything's moved to the cloud now. You can't run stuff. Like just stuff you can't run if you don't have an internet connection. Like it requires 24/7 connection.
Yeah.
So that's already a thing. So I don't think you're going to see like a marked increase in companies who are like, finally we can roll out something that people need to stream all the time, because we're seeing companies like big companies like Adobe and Microsoft do this already. Right?
Yeah, but that's
So you're going to see, like, people are still going to do it, but I don't think the rate would increase. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if there's 10% growth now, which is an absurd number, but let's just say there's 10% growth year over year now in terms of, like, these companies, like new companies that happen to be using, that happen to require streaming constantly, it's not going to bump up to, like, 15%, I wouldn't think, just because all of a sudden the rules about streaming and data caps have changed.
No, but I wonder if people would start doing things that they normally do with their home internet connection, and that now they're free to do it anywhere, right? Watching Netflix over your cellular connection versus...
I mean, that's possible.
I'd
I mean,
totally be watching Netflix all the time when I'm driving.
Good. You need that stupid thing. You need that zipper case.
We need the zipper case.
Which we'll get to later, I guess.
Yeah. Anywho, so there's so Canada is doing good
For now.
for a track record on net neutrality.
The big problem is that Canada has a history of sort of doing whatever the Americans do. Like, we're really good at following their lead.
That's true.
Yeah. So if this does go through in the States, then I don't. There's no guarantee we won't follow. Like what did the Americans do not so long ago? So that when they were cracking down on torrenting, like there's different rules for torrenting stuff and downloading music. Let's say between between USA and Canada. It is technically, just FYI, it's sort of a gray area, but it is technically legal to download music in Canada.
It's technically legal?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when you go and buy blank media, you pay a SOCAN charge. So you've paid for that music. Right? So guess what? Like they're already assuming that people are not buying music, and they are charging you for it. So I've already paid for it anytime I go and buy blank media. To be fair, I don't buy a ton of blank media anymore, but there's also no explicit law against downloading. But we had this whole big thing with VPNs and Netflix not too long ago. So we used to be able to... So I have a VPN, which is like, for if you're not technically minded... it basically it makes it look like my connection is starting somewhere else.
Connecting to the internet.
Yeah, so it
Based
basically,
out of-
I connect to a server in a different country, and then that
We won't tell you which one.
and then that server goes and connects to the internet, and so all my connections look like they're coming from this other country, essentially. So I can make it so it looks like I'm connected to stuff from the States or from Europe or from whatever country.
So just a second. If I had a VPN tunnel so I would connect to a server in Russia,
Sure.
right? And then I start like meddling with the U.S. election. It would look like the Russians are meddling with the U.S. election.
Probably. I'd like to think that that data analysts, like government level NSA data analysts, would recognize which of these connections are VPN connections, because
Just a sec.
Netflix can figure this out. So I assume the NSA can figure this out.
The NSA should have been contracted to put up the Obamacare website.
Or the
Anybody
guys
should
from Netflix should have.
that. Obamacare, brought to you by Netflix.
Right? Just
Oh, that actually wouldn't be half bad.
right? Just they'd have like really cool videos. They could stream it right to your Apple TV. You could just type it in with your stupid remote, stream it back.
Brilliant.
This is actually the more I say it out loud, the better an idea it sounds like, and not just because it's my voice saying it.
But not because it's your voice saying it.
Well, no.
Right.
Anyway, so my
Canada's-
point
okay,
is,
so-
the
sorry.
thing that was happening was, so I had my VPN, so I could watch American Netflix,
Right.
right, or the UK Netflix or whatever, right? And then we had, I can't remember who it was, a lawmaker in Canada found out her daughter was doing this, and she lost her mind, and she was trying to make VPNs illegal.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, that was
And-
funny.
And I was just like, all right. But what wound up happening was,
You
so
have
there was like
no
wound up
idea.
being a ton of pressure on Netflix to be like, you need to crack down on this, because there was a time where Netflix's stance on people using VPNs to watch stuff from other
Right.
regions was like, well, who cares?
Like, yeah.
Like, you're still getting these guys, these producers are still getting paid
Right.
the same, and that's really the reality of the situation. But IP law and how distribution works for TV shows and music and all that is ridiculously complicated, and it's ridiculously convoluted, and everyone wants their piece of the pie, right? So a movie comes out in the States, and it's like, okay, well, I have the distribution rights in Canada, I have the distribution rights in the UK, oh, I have the distribution rights over here. And all these guys want their distribution rights money. And Netflix is like, well, we're just going to give the money to the producer, and then people can just watch it. No, you guys don't like that. So so then they had to change their tune, and now they actually block a variety of VPNs.
Like all of them. It's tough to get a VPN around Netflix these days.
Yeah, you can sort of, every now and then you might get lucky and sneak a different region for like half an hour on Netflix before it gets blocked. But it's pretty quick I just sort of given up. I do still have my VPN for other stuff, but
like messing with the U.S. election.
yeah, absolutely.
Of course. Yeesh.
Mainly, I just don't think it's anybody's business what I do on the internet for the most part. So
I want everybody to know it. No, I don't. I don't know.
nobody wants that.
Nobody wants to know what I do on the internet. So the Americans, do we know which way they're leaning on this net neutrality nonsense?
Well, the head of the FCC, Ajit Pai, we can sort of break this down a little bit further. Ajit Pai is his name.
Sounds delicious.
He's a monster, as far as I can tell. Well, at least in terms of this. So his argument against net neutrality is that government regulation, because that's what this is, freedom to consumers, like stopping companies from throttling bandwidth or charging whatever they want. He feels that this stance is hindering business development, like internet companies. He says it's stopping them from innovating. It's holding them back. So his argument, and this is the head of the FCC, all right? So
Someone
his
who
stance...
should know something.
Well, he was appointed by Trump, so almost a guarantee his interests are in counter to whatever portfolio he's in front of.
Okay.
And at any rate, besides that, so his whole stance is net neutrality needs to go because it's bad for business. And so the government's official stance is that it needs to go, really. So it comes down to people phoning Congress. Like, there's nothing really, I don't think there's anything Canadians can do. This is sort of out of our hands right now.
Yeah, we just have to.
Like, this is just straight
Sit
up
and watch,
American
like-
politics and hope for the best.
Telling you, Australia's looking better and better.
Except for the snakes. Like, I know Canada has snakes, but we have a really strong winter. That
We elect snakes.
Everyone elects snakes.
Not
Name
the
a place
Australians.
that doesn't.
I don't know. I'm just going to double down on my Australia is a great thing.
To be fair, you can actually punch an ex-Australian prime minister and not go to jail. Did you hear about that? Where, like, the drunk guy? So the guy had been, like, the prime minister, the ex-prime minister, would sort of be like Obama now. Like,
right.
It's that sort of timeline. So he saw him, and he was drunk, and just decided he was going to take a poke at him. Punches the ex-prime minister. He's on news the next day, not in jail, telling his story about how he punched the prime minister. And they're like, would you do it again? He's like, maybe if I was drunk enough.
It's honesty. It's just honesty.
Yeah. Like, you can't get away with punching a lot of world leaders.
Can anybody punch the former Australian?
Well, Australians can.
Oh, you have to be Australian?
I have no idea.
All right.
You do to be to hold public office. In Australia. I don't know why I said it like that, because it sounded like I was trying to do
Australia?
an Australian accent, and I can't, which is why I know that I wouldn't have done it.
That's
So
how I know.
That was really weird that I did that. All right. So
Right.
that was that's net neutrality in a nutshell. Basically, our freedom is at stake around the world because, unfortunately, the Americans kind of run the internet a little bit. They have a lot of control over it. All those big internet companies that aren't innovating, that are super innovative, all based out of the States.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be fair, like, none of them, I don't think. The only ones that really want net neutrality to go away are the telecom guys, right? Like, it's AT&T and Verizon.
You know, the guys that are going to be able to make some money on it.
Yeah. Because they aren't making money now. They're going to go out of business, Jeremy.
Their bonuses this year are only millions of dollars instead of tens of millions of dollars.
Not billions of dollars?
No. So they need to find new ways to make money.
Trillions of dollars?
Stupid anyway.
These guys are dinguses.
Dingus. Let's do some Kickstarter crystal ball.
Yeah, we are cruising today.
I know. I like it.
Let me grab the thingy to switch the key.
Kickstarter.
Okay. Boom. Kickstarter crystal
ball.
We still don't have a theme song. Jeremy started singing the rough cut.
Yeah.
Check out his SoundCloud. It is fire.
Yeah, I got to add some sound effects to it.
Oh, I forgot I have my spreadsheet that I have one thing in, so I got to open that at some point also.
Yeah.
But where do
Our
I
3D,
have that
4D,
tab?
9D interactive movie theater phase 1 project.
Tell everybody about it, because I don't have the tab open in front of me. So,
well, it's a horrible idea, really, but
yeah, but how are they doing?
how are they doing?
Yeah.
Oh, horrible. They haven't gotten a single pledge yet.
All right.
But they've got 5 days to go.
5 days
And
to go. $25,000 goal.
How come? Huh. I'm seeing my Kickstarter in Canadian currency now.
Oh, yeah, they changed it.
That's cool. $31,921 to go.
Oh, wait, I'm not seeing that. That's weird.
I'm not backing this. Anyway, it's a horrible idea. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, we don't need to.
We don't need
If
to believe
you've
it.
seen this before, it's a bad idea.
You know our stance on
Not
it.
enough money for
It's not going to make it.
some dumb stuff.
The Luke Skywalker binoculars.
Yes, the world's first immersive smart capture binoculars, the IQ. This is, despite the label on the box, it is a magnifying glass for your phone. I do not see.
I don't see there.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
Where?
There's something weird here. It's underneath the video. 27. Excuse me. They wanted 25 grand. They hit $27,510.
So
and
they
are
made it.
kickstarted.
They
made it.
Started.
They made it. Well, they made it last week. We knew that they made it last week, but they still had more time. So I guess we didn't really need to recap them this week. But they still made it. They didn't. No one took their money back.
Still a stupid product.
Still dumb. The Progress app, which I sort of kind of want to like, but is ultimately a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, they're not going to make it.
No, they have 8 days to go.
$466 to go.
I'm running out of disk space
Oh.
on this PC.
No,
From all the recordings that we didn't delete.
delete the old. Oh, we got it.
Okay, keep talking, Jeremy.
All right. They. No, sorry. Only $466 have been pledged of
Yes.
their
What did I say to
whopping
go?
goal. Yeah, no, they're not going to make it. The idea is, it's a nice idea. The idea is, of course, they want to build an app that is moderated so that you can have productive discourse with people who have different viewpoints than you. You know, because we need an app to talk like grown-ups now.
Yeah.
To have grown-up conversations. But
Well, we have all these apps that allow us to talk to other adults, and they just, we haven't figured it out yet.
well, an app will help us figure it out.
An
I'm sure
app will
I'm sure
not.
that's
Apps do
that's
nothing.
garbage. It's not going to make it.
That's
We're
true.
coming to the end there. Shellback smartphones.
This is what you need.
The Shellback smartphone safe.
I think this might be making more money. Oh, I should be. I'm
Oh.
like, I should be tracking this in our spreadsheet. Derp-a-derp. So they're actually, I don't know if they moved or not.
I've got all my. Hang on. Oh, here. I just have to hover over it. They've got $8,749 pledged out of their $30,000 goal. So they're not quite a third of the way.
That's their goal.
I'm not sure this is going to actually work how they think it's going to work.
No. Someone must have watched our show.
And decided not to pledge or decided to pledge?
Decided not to pledge.
Decided, yeah, all the potential backers saw our show last weekend because they sure didn't see it live.
No. No, we had lots of live viewers last week.
Actually, yeah, last week we did.
We did really well. Thanks, everybody, for watching last week.
Thanks
and
for
thanks
coming
for
out.
watching this week also. We know you don't have to do that.
And probably shouldn't.
Yeah, maybe
Well.
best if you don't. The
Yeah.
Rana computer. This was our new one last week. And I did
Oh,
I did
right.
actually have this one in the spreadsheet so I can tell you if it went up or down.
So last
Stay
week
the
was
same.
$35 pledged.
No? Well, week one, when we did the show last week, they only had $5 and one backer.
Oh, sorry. Right now is $35.
Right now,
pledged.
they're at $35.
Oh, they've got two backers. So someone pledged $30. What did someone want to get?
They got the Live Boot Rana, a USB drive with a live bootable Rana installation
That's an expensive USB drive. That's gonna.
with a Linux, with a live bootable Linux distro on it.
I can give you one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is not a difficult thing to do. So someone is. It's got to be someone in his family. Like anyone who reads this and is like, "Oh yeah, a computer for this." I showed this to the guys at work. It was great. Like I selected to the guys at work, and the design guy, the very first thing he quotes is a simple yet beautiful desktop. The giant gray box.
Giant gray box. It's simple.
It is.
It's so simple. There's nothing there.
It is just a giant gray box. So what's today's date? It is.
So they got one more backer. At this rate, they're never gonna make it. Congratulations, I'm 100.
Sorry, we're just typing stuff in.
Okay.
Why is this not coming through in like Canadian dollars for me? What's CHF?
It's a Swiss franc.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have this in Swiss for some reason.
You've got. Are you connected to a Swiss VPN?
I'm on your computer. I don't know. You tell me.
It might be.
So this is
I was messing with the Swiss elections.
Oh, God. What is going on here? This is
Haha.
17 Like, the first time I looked at this was not in Swiss francs. Just FYI. I don't know why this is in Swiss francs at all. Okay, so let me switch the screen over real quick so people can see
What we're looking at today?
So today is the Express Yourself with POV lamp, the future of smart lighting. So I'll play the little video here so you guys can sort of see it in action. You don't need to hear the sound, believe me.
There's no.
Oh, I don't know if there's sound or not, but
Are you showing them?
yeah, I'm playing it right now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I guess I could actually full screen this so it looks better. So basically what this is this is a... Oh, this is a guy talking now. But it's like a... it's a spinny light thing. So you know, like when you go to a toy store, you can buy those things and you press a button and it lights up and it spins around. That's what this is, but you hang it from your ceiling. So I do know that I have a history. I have a real bias for picking things that I am sure are going to be garbage. I did not do this time. I think there is debatable use cases for this.
I must have this.
Right. So some people are going to look at this and be like, this is a really cool idea. So it looks like you can do words. So I'm assuming there's an app that goes with this. So you can change the colors, give it words to do whatever. There's like one of the pictures has like an emoji on it as it's spinning. Okay, so my take on this is that it's got a microphone. Oh, sorry. Okay, so they're just comparing the sound between a clock that ticks and the spinning lamp with a microphone that appears to be pointing at the clock. Just FYI. So this thing is going to make noise. Maybe it's quieter than the ticking of a clock, but there's going to be a whir as this thing is spinning. They do claim that it is elegant while it is not spinning. I disagree with that assessment personally, although to each their own. It looks like a broken lampshade when it's not moving. Like if I walked into someone's house and this was hanging over their dining room table and not on, I would be very confused as to why that was there. I'd be like, oh, hey, did you know that your lamp is broken?
Yeah.
We can go to IKEA and get you like a $10 lampshade and solve this problem. So, in a consumer setting, I think this is dumb. Also, I'm a tall guy. I hit my head on stuff a lot. I hit my head on lampshades a lot.
That's true.
I don't want to hit my head on a spinning lampshade. That is asking for trouble.
This is the lamp. Not only do you just bonk into it, it attacks you.
Yeah. Right. So it's like now I've already hit my head and I feel dumb for hitting my head. Now I have a concussion because it hit me at like 7,000 RPMs.
Oh, those things are big too.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know. Like I think this would be cool in like a nightclub situation. Like they do show it like hanging over bars. I think that's a perfectly acceptable use case for this. Anywhere else I think is maybe not the greatest idea. Places where it's too loud to hear it. Because you're going to hear it. I guarantee you're going to hear it spin. I don't care how quiet they say it is. You're going to hear it. And,
Yeah.
and it's going to sway. Like if you're like the Euro CD, Can you imagine
Like,
the whole time you're sitting there watching your lamp sway a little bit?
just a little.
Just
Yeah, because there's no way this thing is perfectly balanced.
No.
Like, you can get it close, but I mean, how? I don't know.
Yeah, like, and I do think it's neat that they can sort of make it show images. Like there is some cool stuff that it does for sure. But I would not want this in my house. But if I owned like a night spot, this would be the kind of thing I would at least consider putting in there, depending on the cost.
How much do they cost? Yeah.
That is sort of the $1 million question. Hopefully, it's not $1 million.
Hey, whoa, what?
Also, all of my currency is in Swiss francs.
No,
so.
this one's in Swiss francs. He's asking for Swiss francs.
Ooh, is he in Switzerland or is he just like a money launderer?
Maybe
Like,
both.
this seems like a legitimate thing. So,
120,000 Swiss francs.
yep. You know what that is? How's your Swiss franc conversion?
It's funny. I actually was joking with my brother about Swiss francs the other day, and it happened to be on a day that was exactly on par.
Oh, okay. So
That was with
if
the
I go-
U.S. dollar.
Oh, okay, I'll do Swiss francs to Canadian. What do we say? 120. That's 12. That's 120. That's
Yeah.
155,000 Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
And they're already at 17,000 francs.
Estimated delivery February 2018. What do you? So you have to pledge
22 grand.
fashion T-shirts. Whoa!
What's the lamp? 829 chiff. So like a grand
They're like a grand.
for one unit. Right now at that price, 1,072.99 Canadian. You get a lamp
Hang on.
with a power cable.
4 special light guides.
I don't know.
Oh,
what the-
that's.
I don't know what the light guides are.
I think those are the arms, right?
Oh, maybe. Are those like normally? Whatever. Like, why would that not come with the lamp?
Let's
Like, is that not the lamp?
let's not get too over analytical here.
All right. I thought that was the whole point of this, though, was to get exceedingly over analytical.
All right, let's do it.
Honest.
You're right. It's gonna be loud. It's neat. It's got a. I think the noise is probably the.
The noise, the little bit of motion bugs me. Oh, yeah, so I guess the actual lamp itself is like the center part. Like, for whatever it is you're actually lighting up, and then the special arms would be what makes it what it is,
Yeah.
realistically. I would like to see one live, and maybe I should actually listen to the video, because I'd like to know how it sounds.
Hey, it's self-cooling.
Well, sure, it's spinning around.
I know.
Well, duh. It's like a fan. It's like a light up fan that you don't want to hit your face on.
Oh, it keeps guests cooler. You know, because it's a fan. See?
Does that literally say it keeps guests cooler?
Yes, it does.
Oh my god.
Well, this is an interesting idea. I would I'd like to see a ceiling fan with this. With this kind of a tech, right?
Yeah.
Like that seems like a better place for it to go. Larger canvas to display information on or graphics on. We're already used to hearing the noise from a ceiling fan.
Yeah. Yep. They have high quality ball bearings, low noise and low friction. Oh, it sucks the smoke right off of your garlic bread. Steam. Sorry, not smoke.
You might have smoked garlic bread.
Hopefully not.
Smoked garlic bread would be the best.
So, so I mean, obviously I'm sort of being mean about the whole thing, but...
Well, they've already got a ton of money already.
They're doing okay.
And they've got a month to go.
This came out today.
This came out today?
Yeah, that's how I roll. This came out today.
Yeah. So we... so that's a lot of money for one day. But is that the flash in the pan? Is that the extent of what they're going to get?
Hard to say. This is actually kind of neat. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing sort of wind up being magically filtered to the top of the Kickstarter list. I don't know, actually. If you look at... I guess I can do it. If I just look at the technology page on Kickstarter, where is it if I don't change anything? Explore, technology, all technology. It is... Ooh, not on the front page yet.
Okay.
Everything on the front page has already been funded. Why is it on the front page? They don't need money. I don't understand this algorithm. Put something there that needs money. That's dumb. Anyways.
No, they're selling... Kickstarter's selling Kickstarter.
I know.
That's the algorithm right there.
I know.
They're not trying to help people. They're trying to help themselves. They're like everybody.
That's true.
Jerks. People jerks.
What a bunch of jerks. So what do you think? I honestly, I think my prediction is that this is, I feel like it hasn't quite made enough, but I am going to go with, I think it'll make it.
I think I'm with you.
I think it'll be close. Like I don't think it's gonna blow its goal away.
No.
But I think it might. I wouldn't be shocked to see it get there. Like I think it'll barely get there, but it'll get there.
I think they've got their work cut out for them. Because I mean, they're only a tenth of the way there. Now that's a great out of the gate start for sure.
Oh yeah.
But they need to scrape up and find supporters on this.
Yeah, they have to get this on the right websites.
Yeah.
Show it to the right people on Reddit or I don't know, some like tech blogs
Verge?
and stuff. Verge might be interesting. I don't know. Does Verge cover Kickstarters? I imagine they must. I don't know. Somebody must. But getting this on some sort of tech blog would be probably good for them. I don't know who though. Yeah, Verge, I guess. BuzzFeed would probably cover it
if they would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they can get this to the right people.
So yeah, I'm gonna cautiously say yes.
Yeah. Who would you target if you were gonna like tell them like these are the people that you should these are the blogs you should be getting on, or this is the industry that you should be sort of looking at.
See, if you were like in production selling and you wanted to like find a market, I'd be going after restaurants.
Yeah,
restaurants, clubs, and bars.
This is really very much a commercial lighting product, in my opinion.
Yeah, which makes me. That's what gives me pause about this. Is I don't know if a commercial product is going to find traction with Kickstarter.
Yeah,
I could be totally wrong on that, and I hope for their sake, I am. But
I also think like a lot of geeky guys who are into tech who have a spare grand kicking around are like, this would be cool.
Oh,
to have,
maybe
right in my
man cave.
In my man cave, it's to show off all my Legos.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can do some cool stuff with it. I could see if I was like a more of a hardware hacker sort of guy, this would be a cool thing to play with a little bit. I mean, it's not doing anything really fancy. Like, you can buy those little clocky things at West Ed where they go back and forth with the LED lights.
Okay, I do know what you're talking about.
Right?
Finally,
and it can,
but when we started
say stuff like, "Hi, Dave, it's 12:03," right? Like you can send messages to that stuff. So like this is just sort of like a better implementation of that level of technology.
Yeah,
but with an app, which is like there is some cool stuff happening here, but I mean, there's nothing revolutionary happening here, except for the spinning, where it's literally revolving.
I feel like you two did this already on a much grander scale.
Yes. But yeah, so my point is there's nothing here, like, I think, like, guys who are, like, cutting-edge guys, I feel like they would look at this and go, well, this is just taking a bunch of kind of older technology and cramming it into one project, but admittedly in kind of a neat way.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I think it's good as a commercial lighting system, but I wouldn't want it in my house, but I can see other people wanting it in their house.
Because other people are wrong.
Well, just other people have different tastes than me, right? Because they could have
said.
it in their Lego room, and as it spins, they could have like the Lego Man face on it. They could just play. I bet you could probably play like the Lego Movie on it while it's spinning and lighting up your Millennium Falcon that you spent $800 on.
Is it $800?
At least.
All right. Well, before we get off on that tangent.
So that's it. So I have a yes. You have a yes.
Yeah,
Oops.
we're going to say yes.
We're both saying yes
we're
on
gonna say
this.
yes. And next week we get to start kicking stuff off the tail end of this thing.
Yeah, finally.
I like it.
We don't have to look at.
We don't have to look at that interactive movie theater anymore. Man, I can't.
Just $0, which is what it should be.
It
In
is
all
what it
honesty,
should
that was what that project deserved to get. All right, so we didn't do any promo in this hour that we've been here. So if you're watching us live, you know where to find us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Facebook.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins. See, the nice thing I like about having it on the little bar down here is I can, when I forget what it is, I can
know what
look
it
up
said.
and I can read it.
Yeah.
Also, if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, you can do that. Instagram.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins. We still only have the 2 posts up there. Twitter.com/BNZ Show. We haven't tweeted since November 1st. So if that's the kind of thing
We
that
should
interests
start
you.
tweeting some stuff.
Yeah, I just forget to tweet stuff.
I know. So
I also forget to Instagram stuff because I have both of those accounts on my phone, and I've sort of switched back and forth between them. And so the problem is, like, if you do see a tweet or an Instagram post, it might have been me on the wrong account,
Just
tweeting
on the wrong
thing.
account.
Yeah, I also
that's fine too.
Well, I tweet a lot of like quasi-political stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of quasi-political.
I know, but I don't. I feel like it's unfair for me to like push my liberal communist agenda onto the B&Z Show Twitter account.
That's fine. We can talk about what you've done then on Wednesday.
My libertarian communist agenda. That's how I'm going to describe it myself from now on. What's your political leanings? I'm a libertarian communist.
Excellent.
Just make people's nose bleeds.
Heads explode.
Noses bleed.
If you found us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Not because we need you to subscribe for any other reason other than we need our URL. So I think we need 100 subscriptions to get our
We need
URL.
100 subscriptions. I think we're at 6.
We're at 8.
We're at 8.
We're still at 8.
We got 2, and I didn't get the thingies.
We're still. I think we had those last week.
Oh,
But
and
if you're,
right, because we were at 6 last week, and then we got
to
2 of Pam's kids.
I like it. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell random strangers on the street.
Yeah.
Bourbon and Zeppelins. Search for it on YouTube. Subscribe to it just so that we can get our URL.
What does it cost you to like?
A cup of coffee? Not even a cup
It
of
doesn't
coffee.
cost you anything.
Costs
Just to
you
like
nothing.
go click on a subscribe button. It means nothing.
It's
Really?
Yeah. It's
Just
not-
like liking our page and sharing our page here on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it's probably Saturday or Sunday because I did figure out how to actually schedule the post.
Yeah, I saw that.
totally forgot about it this weekend.
And it came up
and I
auto-magically.
was like,
It was
whew.
fantastic. It was great.
Whew.
Happened.
I didn't
and,
have to do anything.
And the peasants rejoiced.
Everyone, all 8 of our followers, thrilled. I'm like 2 of them, so
I'm at least one of them.
yeah. It shows
think
up
I
on my
might be
Apple
too.
TV, and I feel like we have a real show.
Hey, it's right there.
Yeah, I'm like, man, this is like right next to other channels. That
Well, and I
are
like on
serious.
Saturday, you're like, I wonder what happened this week.
Yeah. What happened this week 4 days ago?
Yeah.
Anyways, if you're watching this on YouTube, every Wednesday,
8 p.m. Mountain Time. I already said this. I'm going to say it again. Facebook.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins. Facebook.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins. Facebook.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins. That's it. Bye. See you next week.
Later.